A lifetime of pain and now new hope. Meet a Silver Spring woman making history as the first to undergo a cutting-edge new sickle cell treatment. Plus, safety at school. A shooting at Blake High School has MCPS parents concerned.
We had an arson and a threat of a school massacre in an elementary school.
And keeping their school open. Wootton parents file an appeal with the State Board of Education.
From playing on courts just like this here in Montgomery County to now playing in the WNBA. The story of Bethesda's Kiki Rice straight ahead here on The Pulse.
I'm Mariam Shazad here outside Longview School in Germantown, where students with serious disabilities participated in a triathlon.
All of that and more coming up next on The Pulse. Welcome to The Pulse, the heartbeat of Montgomery County. I'm your host, Markette Sheppard, and today we're joining you from Silver Spring at an I-495 overpass where a protest is underway this May 1st, May Day, also known as International Workers' Rights Day. This group of people, they're calling for people to do no work, no shopping, and no school today in support of workers' rights. You can see here how signs line the overpass urging drivers to honk in support of workers' rights. And many are doing just that. Organizers say this is just the beginning, with rallies planned throughout the weekend into Monday across the county, state, and entire country. Protesters are prepared, they say, for the long haul with water bottles, flags, and even pom-poms in hand. May Day has deep roots in the American labor movement. Protests on this day way back in 1886 marked the origins in American labor unions successfully winning the fight for the 8-hour workday, and the movement for fair working conditions continues on through today. We asked some of the rally participants what brought them out here to the overpass on this chilly spring morning. Here's what they told us.
I'm out here protesting today because it's the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, and I do not want to see the United States fail, which it is doing seriously now.
Somebody has to come out here to oppose the horrible things the Trump administration is doing. And I'm out here in particular because it's May Day. It's a day to celebrate workers, not billionaires.
I want funding for science restored. I think science and innovation and technology are what drive the economy, what drive increased productivity. And so I think that's where we should be focused.
These people, they need to be stopped before this gets any worse. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening anytime soon because the entire GOP seems to have lost its spine. We need GOP with balls, not ballrooms. I mean, this is just absolutely insanity, what we've got going on right now.
Protests are underway at various locations around the county. Pulse reporter Christina Caicedo-Smith is at another location with details.
This morning in Montgomery County and here in Rockville, hundreds of people are expected to gather as part of a nationwide May Day events, marking International Workers' Day with rallies, marches, and community action. May 1st is a public holiday in many countries to mark International Workers' Day, or Labor Day, when workers' unions traditionally rally around wages, pensions, inequality, and broader political issues. Events here are part of a broader national movement calling for a no work, no school, no shopping day, an effort to demonstrate the collective power of workers and communities. From marches to rallies to community gatherings, organizers say today is about more than protest. It's about unity and visibility.
So the reason we do visibility events, which is what we call this, the reason we come out here with signs and flags and tambourines is to let people know that if they're feeling uneasy about the way things are going in our country, they're not alone. If they're watching the news and sitting on their couch and they're worried, we want them to understand that a lot of people also feel concerned.
As May Day unfolds, participants hope their message resonates far beyond today, calling for lasting change through collective action. In Rockville, I'm Christina Caicedo-Smith for MCM.
To learn more about this protest and others, visit mobilize.us. A Silver Spring woman is making history, becoming the first in Montgomery County and only the second in the state to receive an innovative stem cell therapy for sickle cell disease. It uses her own genetic material to help ease chronic pain and increase her life expectancy. Here's more. For 41-year-old Jessica Seha, living with sickle cell disease has meant a lifetime of pain with debilitating flare-ups happening regularly.
Every 6 weeks, every other month, every month. It's been hard for me, for my family.
Diagnosed at just 2 years old, she's one of more than 5,000 Marylanders living with the disease, which can block oxygen to the body's organs, causing disruption to the entire system. So it's no wonder she elected to undergo an innovative stem cell therapy called Lifegenia.
It was something that excited us as a family with the perspective of being cured.
The treatment also helped her bypass the conventional method of finding a donor.
As an only child, I don't have a match, and my parents are a little bit older, so they wouldn't be able to donate. So this was an avenue that became achievable.
Achievable in reducing pain in about 90% of patients who participated in the clinical trials. Now, FDA approved, the new therapy is available to the public for people like Seha.
How are you? I'm doing well.
Seha underwent the treatment this past Monday. And just a few days later, this mom of 3 said she's already feeling better.
How are your kids?
Seha explains why she chose the therapy.
Essentially to be normal, not to have so many hospital visits, not to have to miss out on family events, to miss out on my children's activities, their lives.
While her doctors at the University of Maryland Medical Center call the results transformational, they also say more long-term data is needed before calling it a cure. Sickle cell disease is an inherited blood disorder that affects about 100,000 people in the U.S. and millions more worldwide. According to the American Society of Hematology, the condition most commonly affects people of African, Hispanic, and Asian descent.
Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
The hospital shared with me that Seha is doing well just 4 days after her surgery and that they will continue to monitor her progress. This story was produced in collaboration with the University of Maryland Medical Center. In education news this week, an arrest has been made in the Wednesday morning shooting that occurred during a fight in the James Hubert Blake High School parking lot in Cloverly. On Thursday, police announced the arrest of 19-year-old Dajiba Gombo of Silver Spring in connection to the shooting. He was charged with first-degree assault. Shortly after a community engagement officer helped break up the altercation, a 17-year-old boy reported to a local medical center with a gunshot wound. The investigation is ongoing, and police ask anyone with information to call the 4th District Station at 240-773-5500. Meanwhile, the Wednesday morning shooting at Blake High School ramped up concerns about safety across the public school system. And it was a hot topic at Tuesday's council meeting, as a growing number of parents are calling for the return of the school resource officers on campuses.
We had an arson and a threat of a school massacre at an elementary school. We had a threat to a high school of a school shooting where my understanding is there were only 20% of students showed up to Whitman High School on Friday. The school was empty. Parents, students, the community are palpably scared. As a result, we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of parents that did not feel safe to send their kids to school. And some of the students who told their parents they refused to go to school. And I heard from a lot of them. So just if we were to make a change and were to return an officer into high schools on a permanent, ongoing basis, do we have the resources to do that?
To answer your question, yes, we can cover the high schools with a school resource officer in every high school.
And then what would that look like for the adequate coverage for then the middle and the elementary schools? So I think that's a key part of this too.
Well, we can push some of the less serious incidents at our middle and elementary schools to our patrol, but we would not want to burden patrol with going to the schools. When you look at our staffing situation, we can't cover all the schools. We just can't.
Council President Natalie Fanny Gonzalez pledged to hold follow-up sessions once the county budget for the next fiscal year is approved. In other news, the drama over the displacement of Wootton High School moves to the State Board of Education. Earlier this week, parents challenged the recent county school board vote to approve Wootton moving students from Rockville to Gaithersburg in the fall of 2027. They filed an appeal against the vote, claiming the decision was based on faulty data and ignored the school closure requirements by calling it a, quote, relocation. Parents are asking the state board to require MCPS to reconsider the decision. For ongoing coverage of important education issues, be sure to visit mymcmedia.org. Traditionally, a triathlon is a sport for elite athletes, but a Germantown school for students with disabilities is proving that with a little willpower, the eye of the tiger, and lots of cheers, anyone can be a triathlete if you just try it out.
This is a day where our kids get to truly be kids and young adults, just like any child.
Students who have serious disabilities have been practicing all year to get ready for a triathlon here at Germantown's Longview School.
And we just basically adapt everything to meet their needs. And today is the day that all their hard work pays off and they get to show off their skills.
And the crowd was going wild. Students came from Spark Matsunaga Elementary right next door to cheer on their peers. It's a special day when parents, teachers, and kids can see how far these students have come.
Because she just took like 25 steps in the gate trainer, and it was so beautiful. First time that she's debuted that skill. So Mommy's gonna cry because it was so good.
These are the gait trainers that they use. Well, depending on the kid themselves and their need. My daughter is able to use both of them, and she's able to use the bike as well. Actually, seeing her and being able to watch her do the things that I know she can do in front of other people is kind of cool.
Said when she first started school, she wasn't really mobile. It's really magical to be able to see from not walking to being able to join in an event like today. It's very special.
And after the hard work comes the medals.
Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. Congratulations, buddy.
The swimming part of the triathlon happened the previous week. At Longview School in Germantown, I'm Miriam Shazad for The Pulse on Montgomery Community Media.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff, and the triathlon crew for another amazing triathlon.
Well, thanks, Miriam, for that heartwarming story, and congratulations to the triathletes for those winning performances. In other local sports news, several athletes from our area are joining the workforce this May Day after being selected in their respective high-profile drafts. Our Pulse sports reporter Frank Hanrahan has the details.
Well, Markette, when kids are growing up playing on courts like this here in Montgomery County, there's that dream of one day making it to the big time. And for two local athletes, that happened last week. Kiki Rice of Bethesda was drafted by the WNBA's Toronto Tempo, and Mansour Delane of Silver Spring taken by the Kansas City Chiefs, both in their respective first rounds.
Kiki Rice, UCLA.
Rice was the first ever selection by the expansion Toronto Tempo, as she was drafted number 6 overall in the WNBA draft. Rice just helped UCLA win its first ever national championship in women's basketball, and now she will try to help the Tempo gain respectability in the franchise's first ever season in the WNBA.
You talked about building culture and winning culture. Kiki Rice certainly brings that kind of experience at 5'11", a guard with size who can keep her own player in front of her, but also switch on to bigs. She finishes at the rim, gets to the free throw line, 39% from 3 this past season. Very good getting to her pull-up as well, but more than anything, brings that winning mentality.
Delane grew up in Montgomery County, finished at Louisiana State University, where he was an All-American cornerback, and now he'll be playing with one of the best franchises in the NFL.
To my brothers, to my sisters, both my parents, grandma, grandpa, everybody. It took a village to get where I'm at, so everybody just was enjoying this experience with me.
And that's the great thing about these young athletes. They are very aware that there was a community that surrounded them to help them get to this moment. For The Pulse in Kensington, I'm Frank Hanrahan.
Well, thanks, Frank. It's always good to hear about people getting jobs these days instead of losing them. Well, in other good news, let's transition to our What's Trending report with our social media correspondent, Jaria Butler.
Hi, I'm Jaria Butler, and here's what's trending online. At number 5, the Civic Center Puppet Show presents The 3 Not-So-Little Pigs. This fun twist on a classic story follows 3 brother pigs, a vegetarian wolf, and a lesson in kindness. At number 4, learn more about African culture through food, music, and stories at the Great African Market Experience on May 3rd. The event will feature a variety of brands, products, and cultural experiences that celebrate African heritage and community. At number 3, food lovers, this one's for you. On May 2nd, a family-friendly food truck festival in Rockville will feature a variety of food trucks with different lunch and dessert options, local businesses to support, and kids' activities throughout the day. At number 2, Sligo Creek Fest is back. May 2nd from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. Sligo Creek Parkway will transform into a lively street festival for families to enjoy, with tree climbing, hands-on activities, multiple performance stages, and a variety of food and drink vendors. At number 1, ever wanted to try a different way to get around? Well, you'll have the chance on May 15th for Bike to Work Day. Registration is now open for the Department of Transportation's annual event, which celebrates a climate-friendly way to travel. There will be 15 free pit stops across the county that morning, including 8 sponsored by MCDOT, with music, snacks, raffles, and more. And that's a look at what's trending online. Be sure to visit MCM's YouTube channel or our website for more news in Montgomery County. I'm Jaria Butler, and you are watching The Pulse.
Well, thanks, Jaria. Now let's celebrate some local birthdays. NBA player and Silver Spring native Victor Oladipo celebrates his birthday May 4th. He was drafted into the NBA as the 2nd overall pick in 2013 and went on to become a 2-time NBA All-Star in 2018 and 2019. And on May 27th, actor Richard Schiff from Bethesda celebrates his birthday. Best known for his role as communications director on the hit show The West Wing, Schiff earned an Emmy Award for his role. Happy birthday! Now let's take a look at free and fun events happening around town in our community calendar. Markets are blossoming across the county this spring, with some continuing into summer. Crossvine's new monthly farmers market opens May 3rd and runs through the summer once a month on Sundays. Meanwhile, the Rio Shopping Center will host its annual Spring Makers Market for 2 days this weekend, on Saturday, May 2nd and Sunday, May 3rd from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., featuring more than 50 local artisans. Well, this brings us to the end of today's episode from Silver Spring and the I-495 protests going on that I'm told are just getting underway. They're going to be going on through the weekend into next week. For more information on the stories you saw in today's episode, just go to mymcmedia.org. And if you see us around town, make sure you post it to social media and use the hashtag #ThePulse. Until next time, remember to stay connected and keep it local.